Pregame.com.
Welcome back to Pregame.tv. It's Saturday college football action. We've got Michigan traveling to play Connecticut. And I got to tell you, Ken, Michigan, they got a scare last week. Akron took they took them to the limit. Michigan had to score late in the fourth quarter to pull out a 28-24 win. It's a situation that I think is great for setting up line value this week.
Did you see the end of the game? One of the most botched calls. We talked about Wisconsin, Arizona State. 24 seconds to go. First down inside the one for Akron. 24 seconds. They get it. They mark the ball. The quarterback's in shotgun position, Marco. He's actually letting the clock dwindle down after they marked it. It gets down to 15, and all of a sudden the official stops in there, waves, and says, after looking at the replay, we've determined to move the ball back a half yard, and instead of first and goal from the half-yard line, it's now third and a half a yard from the one. Okay, I understand. If that's they never put the 9 seconds back on the clock, left it at 15. Therefore, Akron actually got short at one play and had to rush basically to get that fourth down, which was a blatant hold in the end zone. They made sure Michigan won that game. That was absolutely ludicrous.
Yeah, but you know what? Now, when you have a game like that, for me, I like to back the team that looked ugly in winning, sure, should not have won. And people are going to jump ship on them. And to me, like I said, it's all about finding line value. And going into that game, you had to figure Michigan was going to be flat because they just came off of the big win against Notre Dame. Now, one that's a rivalry game, huge rivalry game between those two. It was a revenge game from the year before.
And it was the last of the rivalry.
That was the thing. Notre Dame dropped them off their schedule. And we did that, I know I did that on several radio shows that week. And I said, if Michigan was going to get the opportunity, they were going to stick it to Notre Dame, run up the score a little bit and everything else, embarrass them for dropping the rival, off their schedule. So they had to be flat, I think, last week with Akron. And then you got Akron coming in there. That's like playing in a Super Bowl, going to the big house, playing a team like Michigan. Now, the public's going to look at that, Ken, and they're going to overreact. They're going to say, this Michigan team's not anything what we thought they were. They're going to want no parts of them this week. I think that's when the buy sign goes on that team.
You know what? That's funny you said that because I actually looked at UL Lafayette -7.5 going into Akron as one of my possible plays as well because Lafayette's already gone to a couple tough venues. And to go into Akron's going to be deflated because they came that close to knocking off Michigan.
Absolutely. You know what? This is my free pick. Let's get right to it.
Let's go. Let's get rolling, Marco.
Pure and simple. Michigan last week looked right past Akron. This was a situation they were coming off such a high and such an easy win that they just weren't mentally prepared. I like taking a team in that situation for several reasons. One, that Coach Hawk is going to just drill this team all week in practice. After you have such a scare like that, he is going to drill them this week, have them razor sharp, and Connecticut's going to pay for that. Also, because of the close score, the public overreacts. They're going to look at Connecticut in this game and drive the line down. This line somewhere around 17.5, 18 as we're doing the videos. I feel this should be 21. If Michigan would have taken care of business last week, you would have seen a 21 hung up on this game. And speaking about letdowns, Connecticut had a big game last week. It didn't fare well for them, but it was a big game. Maryland came into town last week. What's the big deal about Maryland? Well, the head coach of Maryland was the former coach of Connecticut who jumped ship to go to Maryland.
Randy Edsall, yes.
Yeah, so that was a big, big game for Connecticut. They were sky high. It was the first time he was back in Connecticut since he left there, and they came up empty. So they're going to be deflated this week. I think Michigan rolls Connecticut on Saturday. I'm going to lay the points. I have Michigan winning this game by a score of 41-17. Take Michigan, lay the points on Saturday. That's my free play. Free plays this season, we've done well with my free play. 7-2-1 so far. Knock on wood. Let's keep that rolling. We've got Michigan. We're going to come right back. Ken's got a free play. This is an interesting game. Kansas State at Texas. The Texas Longhorns. Things are not good down there in the heart of Texas. We'll find out what Ken has to say up next. Pregame.tv.